there's something prophetic in this book, Only Human. You said you wrote this in 2013?
2013, yeah.
2013. Bills fans? Anyone? Yeah. Okay. So, I don't want to give it away. You don't want me to give it away, right? Give it away, really? Okay, okay. Well, hold that thought. There's something in the early part of the book that I really appreciate that really sort of gets to some of that struggle that we were getting at earlier, where, okay, so we have a quarterback, and I accidentally called Frank Mark, the quarterback here, Mark Borile, who is sort of an aging star quarterback in a league now dominated by robot players, increasingly robotic players. And early on in the book, so, you know, here we have our hero Mark who's hanging on, right? And people are coming out to see, like, hey, there's still a human in this. And that's sort of a marketing pitch for the team that he's playing for. And you mentioned as he is engaged with one of his robot teammates that the powers that be programmed these robots to develop feelings. And this is something where, like, those of you who are really in tune with AI right now know that this is happening. And it's either, you know, beautiful or absolutely threatening to you, like, depending on how you look at it. It could be both. I actually think it is both. But so you said that that this sort of adversarial teammate of his developed a respect for him, and that he was programmed to do that in the spirit of both marketing and camaraderie. Is that right?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think we all have phones. We don't talk into our iPhone. We talk into Siri or Hue or whatever the name would be. We are emotional creatures. So I think it's very probable that as our technology evolves, we will anthropomorphize or give them human qualities into our technology. And I think that's what I was trying to evoke. I mean, Maya Angelou said, right, like, people will not remember what you do, what you say, but they will remember what you feel. So for me, one of my first ever introductions to science fiction was the author Isaac Asimov, and he had a story called Robbie. Robbie was about a robot nursemaid to a child, and the child, at the end, the robot breaks down, is no longer there, and he's crying, the emotions. The child loved this robot. So I think we will have emotions in some capacity built into our AI and robots going forward. That's what I was trying to go for there.
I appreciate it, because in that moment, listening to the audiobook, and I encourage you all to, whether you want to read, like, I'm usually a reader. It's honestly the first audiobook I've ever listened to in my life. And it
How is that possible?
Yeah, well, I prefer to read. I'm a Luddite, right? Like, I'm the guy who's like, I don't need CDs. I like my cassettes. Like, I did that. So here with audiobooks, I'm like, nah, so I still like holding and reading a book, but I listen to this because of the way you talked about the voiceover guy and the way that he takes on the robotic voices is really interesting. And in that moment where the robot is explaining how the robot is developing feelings, I'm like, oh. And then the robot's like showing respect and they're developing a relationship. I'm like, oh, that's what that guy was talking about, the Ezra Klein show. Like, okay, maybe I can do this. All right, Erica, we can be cool. It really opened me up to it. I appreciate it. And I think that's sort of the power of the written word, the power of science fiction to sort of like take us out of wherever we are in our daily lives and imagine a different world. And I need that. I need that sort of spirit of imagination for me personally to embrace a lot of this technology.